Hey, what's up everyone? It's your friend Bats. That's my boy Carl. And I'd like to show my collected editions today. I've given up floppies on the most part, and I've kind of just switched over to reading and collected edition. To me, it's I don't want to say a better way to read comics, but I prefer it in this format over it being just floppies going every week and putting them in a white box that just gets stored and then you just start stacking boxes. I prefer this aesthetic much more, you know. So this is my bat shelf. These are all gifts. I need to dust up there. These are all Batman gifts that have been given to me over the years by people who know that I love Batman and they get me a Batman thing. And yeah, so that's just kind of my Batman stuff. But these are my Batman collected editions. Starting up first is the DC Archives, which someone gave this to me a long time ago, and I was gonna chase them, but then I was like, nah. And then when I got into the Marvel Epic collections, they started releasing these, and I was like, oh, sick. These are basically DC Epics. And then they stopped making these, which is very annoying, because I would have bought all of these as they came out. But once they stopped, and that was annoying to me as a collector. And DC's kind of notorious for doing that. And I think that they're going to stop that now. You got our Neil Adams volumes. And this was really hard to find for a long time. I found it in a bargain bin, which was pretty sweet. And then I have my Carmine Infantino Tales Batman. Ellen Burnett. Archie Goodwin. This is a good book. I've still been meaning to read. I've read stuff from this, but I haven't read this entire volume. Jerry Conway. I love that dude as a writer. He's a great writer. Marshall Rogers, Batman. I was going to I found, this was super hard to find for a long time. Then I also found it on a bargain bin. And I was going to give this to my friend Bruce, but it's missing an issue, and so so I guess I'm keeping it. I found this almost 2 years ago. I've always had a copy of Year One, but then I've always given it away because when people are like, "Oh, I was thinking about reading some Batman comics," I always give them either Year One or I give them Hush. And I finally found a copy of the first edition first printing of Year One at this the store. That was a game store, but they had comics. Also found that there. So I found a lot of if you collect Batman trades, you know what I'm like. Stuff like this is hard to find sometimes, or it's on eBay for too much money. So, and then you have your so I have it kind of organized in a weird way where it's like, this is as it was coming out. And then this is I didn't alphabetize these obviously, but they're just thrown in there kind of as I got them. But then here is really weird, right? So you got Batman Year One, and then Prey in continuity takes place after it. And then Year Two. And then you have these Joker origin stories. And then we have the Tim Sale, Jeff Loeb story. And then next to Dark Victory is Fortunate Son, because it's it's a Robin origin story, right? And then we just kind of go into 80s Batman. So Death in the Family, Lonely Place of Dying. They've re-released these but so this is what's kind of neat, is I've had these specific volumes since I started collecting comics. I found these in a used bookstore when I was like 13, and I've had them since then. I'm about to be 40 this year, and that's my dog drinking water very loudly. Speaking of these being DC Epics, now they have the new ones called DC Finest, and these were going this is annoying as a DC and specifically a Batman collector. They came out with these and then they never reprinted them, and they're extremely hard to find. You go on eBay and look these up. Each volume is like $100. It's annoying. I don't have 3, and it drives me crazy, and I have never found it. And then so they have come out with these ones, these DC Finest, and they, so these are, Dark Knight Detective collect Detective, and then Caped Crusader collects just regular Batman. DC Finest collects both of those series simultaneously as they were printed, just like these did. But now they're doing it like this, and the next one is going to be, so this is some issues. So this has year 1, it has year 2, and then it has like Batman 4. It basically has 10 issues that this doesn't collect and this doesn't collect. So there's 10 issues in here worth having, I guess, if you're a Batman trade collector. And so moving down, we have more Caped Crusader, and then this is, like I said, DC's notorious for never finishing their series. So they released these, but then stopped at 4 and didn't go any further. And to make it more frustrating, if you have this, you pretty much have all of this, but like half of this isn't in this, and then the back half of this isn't in this. So basically, you only need this part and this part, but all the stuff in the middle of it, it's all in here. Very frustrating, DC, but they look nice on the shelf. So, another book that was a pain in the butt to find, but I found it in a bargain bin, and people on eBay want to charge like $60 to $80 for this 4-issue Batman story. Bananas. And moving on to through the 90s, right? Contagion, Legacy, Night Out. And the end of the 90s is Batman No Man's Land. And so I had these volumes. These are some of the first trade paperbacks that I bought as they were releasing at the time. And I've had these since they've been released. I bought them at Barnes & Noble. And then recently, in the last, 5-10 years, they've re-released Batman's No Man's Land in a bigger edition. Just like they had done these, there used to be 3 trade paperbacks, and now there's 9. Same thing here. I'm missing Cataclysm that goes right here. But unfortunately, it's just like 1 issue missing that I already have in this. So it's like, I don't know. And so then another out of print Batman books, these 2, these ones, and then Bruce Wayne Murderer, Fugitive 1 through 3. They've re-released these again, and they've released them in a bigger format. I haven't got them yet, but I probably will inevitably if I find them in a bargain bin. Death and the Maidens, a very forgettable story, but I enjoyed it as it came out. What is this? Oh yeah, that's just there. And then the same thing. This is notorious Batman stuff, right? War Drums, War Games, Act 1 through 3, and then they re-release it into a different edition. I have Under the Hood Volume 2, and I don't have Volume 1 because it got lost. And then I don't have the original Hush because I always give it away. So I have Hush Returns. And I have Face to Face, which I bought when it came out. Same with these. Cacophony. There's supposed to be a third Kevin Smith one, but DC decided that's never going to happen. The Grant Morrison run, as it came out, it's been reprinted a million times. I'm not going to buy it. And then I'm missing some of the Paul Dini stuff, a lot of the Paul Dini stuff, but eventually I'll get it. Missing 2 of the Batman and Robin. And we kind of work our way to the end of the post-crisis era and into New 52. I chased these ones down. They took a long time to get all 3 of them, but I've got them now. And I bought these as they came out. These are the what's it called? Last Night on Earth. They're coming out with a new Peter Tomasi run. I didn't buy really the New 52 trades as they came out, but I am kind of getting them now. And I'm looking to get pretty much all the Batman New 52 stuff. And into the Tom King era, I prefer these deluxe editions over these kind of ones. However, I don't have volume 3. I have 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, but I do not have 3. 3 is expensive as all hell, and I'm trying to find it in a bargain bin. And into the Peter Tinian run, into the Chip Zdarsky run, and over on I have this all organized weird because it's just how I have it organized. So we have New 52, right? So I'm going to put all the New 52 here into the Rebirth era. And then, so here's Detective Rebirth era. Tomasi. I don't have Tamaki for, I don't know. I may get it one day, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to read Marika Tamaki Detective, but I have some of the new stuff from Ram V. I started this series and I liked it. It was really weird and interesting in the sense that, like, I think Batman's kind of fun when we're dealing with like dark magic stuff. I think it works really well for Batman. Batman's practical, so to have dark magical villains dealing with the cult stuff is fun with Batman. But as I was reading this first volume, I realized, I was like, oh, this is going to be like a Grant Morrison style story where it's going to require all the books, and you're going to probably need all the books. So waiting for each volume to come out every like 5 to 6 months is not worth forgetting. So I'm going to so 4 and 5 I think 4 is out and then 5 is on its way. So I'm going to read those when those come out. Batman versus Robin Road to War was okay, I guess. Batman versus Robin by Mark Waid was really good. Haven't read this one yet because I don't like the artist. I like him and I don't like him. This DeMio guy is very bizarre. And then off into the non-continuity Batman books, we have White Knight, some of the White Knight stuff, Ego, Paul Dini's Dark Knight, Batman Noel, you read every Christmas, Batman and the Joker Deadly Duel, Little Gotham. I hated this stuff as it was coming out, but then I reread it recently and really liked it. I still haven't read this. I found this in a used bookstore, and I'm really looking forward to reading it one day, but I have no interest in reading it. But it's supposed to be like a old-timey crime noir book, so it looks kind of fun. And then, yeah, Tales of the Man-Bat, because I just love the visual aesthetic of Man-Bat. Joker's Asylum 2 was given to me as a gift. And then I have the Batman Adventures Omnis, and then the Batman Beyond Compendium. So there should still be a third omnibus of this, and maybe a fourth. I know they have enough for a fourth one, but I don't know if they're going to do it. All-Star. I don't know why this is out of place. This is backwards. It's embarrassing, but while it's out, dropping it. I bought this at the same time I had bought those Death in the Family and Lonely Place of Dying. I bought all three of these at the same bookstore, and I've had this since I was 13. It's very beaten up, but it has as much as I don't like this story, and I think it's very, very, very overrated. That's just my personal opinion. This particular volume means a lot to me. I have Strikes Again. I've never read it, but I want to, but just haven't got to it. Batman 89. This was fun. This was given to me as a Christmas gift. And then just some random Batman, what were they called? Prestige edition stuff. 3 Jokers is in here. And then Batman Spawn. Azrael. Another thing, I was like, oh, sick, I'm going to buy these. And then DC was like, yeah, we're not going to make any more Azrael books. Okay, sick. And then Catwoman 1 and 2, they didn't, same thing. They didn't follow up with anything beyond 2, but they have released it in a DC Finest. And so it has these 2 volumes and a little bit more. Some of the Gotham Central, I need 1 and 2 still. Joker's Devil's Advocate. I used to own this, and then I gave it to a friend, and I wanted to read it again, and I had to hunt it down. And I found it in a bargain bin, and I love that I did, because too much on eBay. This, I've read a few issues of this when it was coming out in floppy, and I liked it. I love James Tynion's take on the Gotham characters. And this was actually $10 online, for which retail price was like, focus. I'll just read it. It's like $60 retail, because it has like essentially like 30 issues in it. Nightwing Year One was, Nightwing's one of my favorite characters. This is a very old prestige trade. And then I've been kind of working my way into collecting all the Nightwing trades, because Nightwing is kind of my introduction to comics. He's one of my favorite. Dick Grayson is one of my favorite characters of all time. And so I just got the new volume of Tom Taylor, and I know a lot of people aren't fond of it, but I am, and I think I did a video on it. This was fantastic. I did a video about my review on it, and I really liked that book. Looking forward to reading this. Just haven't, still in the plastic. This is the Bronze Age Robin Omnibus. Collects like all the Robin stories from Batman and Family. And yeah, that's my Batman shelf. It's a lot, and so I think I'll do another video of my non-Batman stuff, maybe tomorrow, because this has been going on for about 20 minutes. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.